Hey, boys and girls, Chris Vallone again, Classic VW Bugs.com. Hope you guys are doing well. And I wanted to do a video. We're pretty much halfway through the year right now. And, in the beginning of the year, I was talking about the market, the current market for the Volkswagen Beetle and Volkswagens in general. And in the beginning of the year, I was telling you that, the market seemed a little soft. I'm even experiencing it, with some of the sales with my site as well. Things are a little soft. Just a couple of years ago, many cars were going for the average car was going for mid 20s, low to mid 20s, that kind of thing. Even if it was a driver, something in the mid 60s, something like that, a 65, 66, you could have picked up for, mid 20s, 25, even sometimes 27.5, something like that. But it's this year, things look a little softer. Things are more into the teens, I would say. So we're pretty much halfway through the summer right now, and usually, in the northern states for the United States, you might experience, some peak in sales, maybe springtime, March, April, that kind of thing. And then summertime, in the beginning of summer, you still see some spikes in sales. But then when the summer starts to go through the midway, now it's school's on the horizon. Um, Believe it or not, the fall is coming. Summer's going to be closing, so you're not going to be driving your Beetle as much. So things do kind of dwindle once it gets towards fall. Um, but southern states still people are still looking for the cars as well. So I wanted to just go through with you on bringatrailer.com and go through the completed listings and just kind of show you where the market is right now for the Volkswagen. So I'm in right now. This is a split window section right now. And of course, if you look on the graph, there's not many dots, right? Because the split window is a very rare Beetle. But if you scroll down here, you'll see a 53. 53's Witter Beetle. Gosh, it only sold for 31. I see those prices even for ovals. Same here with another one right next to it, and this one has a bigger engine, of course. There was a 51 here. This is a standard Beetle, vintage stock look, totally. If you go into that car, you'll see that it's a very bare bones looking car. It's one of those standard models that didn't have a lot of the bling. So if you look inside, yeah, you see seats are very basic, three spoke steering wheel, that kind of thing. So that did very well, that car. But it seems to be kind of on a rare occasion that they're hitting that mark now. I mean, I sold my split windows 10 years ago, 12 years ago for around this price. One of them went for 60, another one went for 65. Now, if you look back just a couple years ago, 2021, 2021, you had this one here 66.5, and then this one's 71,000. So you see that things have kind of come down a bit, even in the split window section. So if we go now to, this is oval, and now oval, of course, a few more dots because there's more of them around. There was one here, a peak. This was crazy. 56 sold this year for almost 60 grand. So we'll take a look at that one. I mean, that's on par with some of the splits. But here, I mean, you see some of these 20, 25, 15, 10, 17.5. This is for an oval. I mean, I see those prices in the 60s cars and 70s cars. So this is a nice oval right here. Only did 26. And then you get a custom, went for almost 40. So just a few days before this one. So, but this one here, this 56 almost went for 60 grand. Let's see what's special about this one. Scroll down here. Looks like a very nice restoration. Okay, so definitely looks like they got the right uh, trim. It looks like, let's see if we get into the interior. Yeah, it looks like a really clean resto. Just curious to see what they did on the inside. Okay, so it looks like they have a cloth interior there. Okay, yep. So that's more of the European style interior. It seems like they opted for that, but usually in this era, if you have a European style like this, you would have semaphores here on the B-pillar post, and not the bullet front turn signals like I saw before. So yeah, you would definitely have had semaphores here, but this car has bullets in the front. So interesting to see. A couple little discrepancies there, but overall the car does look very nice and got that almost 60 grand price tag there. So, but overall, you get a couple of those little fairy tales that do very well, but then you have others that just either get chopped in half or get even chopped in half even more. Here's a 55, which 55 and earlier to me is a really sweet spot for a Beetle, and only 16. So interesting. Another 54 here for 15,150. So yeah. And then this one did very well, this 56 sunroof. I had a car like this years ago that we found. Oh my gosh, it looks very similar. I don't think it's one that we touched, but we definitely would have had white walls on it, like you guys know my style. But oh, I remember reviewing this car. Yeah. So yeah, this was a standard style as well and had the rag top. I think it was a Canadian standard. So yeah, that did very well too. So and now let's go into the heart of it, which is what most people are looking for. Here's a cluster, of course. You see one dot up here, which is a 64 that went for 82.5 last year in September of 23. It was a modified Beetle. Wow, very rare to see a Beetle in the mid 60s go for that. But if you do look at the general graph here, so 23 saw a bit of a peak, right? And then as you're noticing the dots going downward as we are into 24. So it's definitely still there. Is it an election year? Does that have a thing? People throw that out at me. I don't know. It's is the economy really just it's hurting, I mean, the media might be telling you one thing and it's a completely different other thing. So we know how that goes today. But I did see recently, this is a 60 convertible that sold for 18,750. I think that was yesterday. And then a 67 Beetle. I was watching this one, and what I like about this one was I thought it was a Euro Beetle 67 because the Euro still retained. Oh no, it has the straight headlight. I thought it had the early headlights on it. My bad. But just the Lotus White with the black interior, it was sitting at 9 grand, 10 grand for a while. And then when it came down to the last minutes, it then sold for 25. It got up there for 25. And the one great thing I like about Bring a Trailer is like there's no sniping like eBay has. So at the last second, you can't just come in with a last second bid and then you're the winning bidder. Bring a Trailer will then reset the auction for you a couple minutes. So there's no sniping and everyone has another chance to put in another bid. And that's exactly what I'm actually implementing into my site when I do my auction, when that starts to get up and going. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm going to be doing, I did address it last week, that one of the ventures I added to my business this year is now a live auction and just Volkswagens. So as of right now, we're still getting the back end going here, but we are taking submissions right now. And if you are interested in having a BuG sold on my auction site, and we get a very targeted traffic to my site, strictly Volkswagen people, not all types of car people, Volkswagen folks, or people that are just specifically looking for a Volkswagen, uh, they can come here to my site. So, but yeah, this was just a white on black, chrome rims, moon hubs, nothing special, and this did well. So yeah, and look, it's got undercoating under the wheel wells, even chipping off over here. So what's not like it's a you know pristine show quality car, but it had all the nice little features on it that people do like for 67, right? So if we go back and just see some of the others, I mean, even seeing convertibles doing less than that car is pretty nutty, you know. Here's a 69 8300, a 69 here for 5800. Jeebers. EV stuff, I thought that would have taken off. I almost dipped my fingers into EV with the Volkswagen, because there are kits out there that you can buy. I think it was a little bit of a craze in the beginning when they were doing these conversions, but I don't know if the demand is really there for them still. You guys leave a message in the comments below what you think about EV converted vintage bugs or buses even. So then this was a cool 70 that I saw, and a good friend of mine that bought a 55 from us was interested in picking this up, and he was asking me questions as it was going along, and we kind of nailed it. We thought it was going to be about a mid-teens car, very clean, and again, just beige looking car with just the tan seats. And 70 I do like. It was a really cool year. It was the best selling year for Volkswagen. They sold the most bugs was in 70. So it's not like it's a rare car. There are a bunch of those out there. But then you got a 65 next to it that only did 9,500. So you get the drift. What I'm trying to get to here, I don't want to be long-winded, but you do see most of the stuff is maybe now under 10 grand. You could pick up a decent car or a good driver, or low to mid teens. That's where it seems to still be. Um, I mean, even this beautiful 63 convertible, this, eye-popping bubblegum Volkswagen red and with the white and the white walls, 26 only. So, and then you have a 67 with the Java green here, and I love the Java green, and I've done a green bug before in 67 like this, and a good friend of mine has a 67 Java as well, and his is way better interior than this one, and this thing did 31. So yeah, that's just the TMI off-white interior. It has the bead on the top of the seat, which is not correct. It should be a complete wrap over. It's got a one-piece headliner in it. So all that stuff has been changed, and there has been a form of restoration on it, and it did 31. So some things you question, you don't understand why some things do, well on some days and others don't. So that's the problem with an auction. It is somewhat of a crapshoot. So but anyways, guys, this is just that video, and then I'll quickly go into eBay. I don't even know how eBay is. eBay used to be the number one online car auction site in the world, online dealership in the world. The most cars were sold on eBay. And I remember starting during the crash of 07, 08 with my business, and I started on eBay, and it got me to where I am today with my business. So but if you go scrolling down, this is completed listings now. So a completed listing should show the number in green if it's sold. And you can keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and there's not much that sells. And I do get updates every day of new bugs that get up on eBay, but it just seems to be a lot of dealers, and they just keep relisting. This thing says it's sold at 69,000. We don't know how true that is. eBay is notorious for runaway bidders and fake bidding. So yeah, this is eBay used to be this site for this stuff. I used to buy and sell on eBay all the time with Volkswagens. I don't know if it's a viable option anymore. I mean, I would say like at least 90% of them here have not sold. So yeah. Anyways, that's that video for today, guys. Would love to hear your comments in the comment section below. And do you agree with me that it's soft? And I do think it's not going to stay like this forever. Things will, of course, rebound with this beloved car. I just think we're in the times right now where things are very expensive. Inflation is up, and so I think people's wallets are kind of getting a little slim. So they want to be a little bit on the cautious side. But overall, I still believe the car is a great investment. It's probably a good buyer's market right now to buy one. And hopefully when things get better, you'll be able to rebound on it and get a good return on investment if you do decide to sell it. So as always, keep it real, guys. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It keeps me coming back here each and every week with a new video in the Volkswagen world. And I'll catch you later.